This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
Day 12, HMP Thameside, IDTS wing. After eventually falling to sleep, trying to stop thinking and with nothing else to do, I woke up many times through the night after various dreams concluded. Or perhaps I woke up from noises, I don't know. My dreams were me out on bail, seeing my friends, or being released. In those dreams, I always suspected I wasn't released on bail, and even woke up a couple of times to confirm it to myself, as I woke lying on my prison mattress and pillow. After my breakfast pack was put through my window hatch, I tried to sleep longer, but soon got up, got washed, and had a big bowl of crunchy nut. An hour or two later, I was let out for social. This is short for social. I went upstairs to a prisoner's pad to use their kettle for a cup of tea. Annoyingly, tea and coffee whitener had burst in my pocket, so I emptied my pocket in the bin. Ahmed and I stood at the window at the edge of the wing that looks out to the exercise yards for 20 minutes talking to one of the lads who used to be on this wing and caught up. We were talking gym, food, and sharing our opinion on them applying for bail or waiting for bail, as the solicitor suggested. Yeah, so we were cool with actually quite a few people, and occasionally people would leave to go to other wings, and we'd catch them on the exercise yard and be able to shout through the window to them and catch up and check in on them. So that's what we were doing with this person named Mohammed. I caught some new fella opening me pad's hatch and looking in my cell. So I stormed over, checking inside my cell as they had walked away because they saw me coming. Ahmed and I continued to talk for 20 minutes when I saw the same fella looking in my cell yet again. This is it. Yo! I shouted when he turned and walked up to confront them. What the fuck do you want, lad? Making it clear that this was my cell, and if they were looking in my cell, they must be looking for me. They stood there as I got up close. I could see the face look mummified, crusty, with their back hunched over in the late 40s. I'm looking for my vape charger, he said. Lad, it's not fucking in there. You mad? That's my cell. They started waffling on about how they lost their plug when I shut them off. I'm not interested in your best fucking beat it now. Okay, the fiend said, and he turned and walked away. Ahmed told me the same guy opened their hatch while Ahmed was in their cell last night, causing them to get up and say something. I think he probably said something less scousy, more cockney, like, are you feeling okay? I was thinking slow at the time because I know for a fact that they're new on the wing and they almost certainly don't have a USB plug because like, you don't get it for, like, because you got to order it on Canteen and wait for it to come. So they don't have one, just as I never had one for at least a week on the wing. I've no doubt they were looking for someone to rob. And it was not going to be me. For dinner, I had a barely baked, barely defrosted baguette with tuna, 2 Biscoff-based biscuits, and a shot of blackcurrant cordial, and a soup I can't make. I've been onto the screws telling them how I've been here nearly 2 weeks and still don't have a TV. They and a prisoner worker assured me that they'll get me one today when people moved off the wing. We'll see. I'm shivering as I write this because it's freezing. A hot cup of soup could have helped, but I haven't got a kettle to make one. I'll probably have a nap with nothing else to do for the next 4 to 5 hours. Fucking hell, Sean. I've got a TV. It's 2:30 p.m, but I can tell the time. I could actually tell the time. 12 days in? It looks like a United States plug on the telly, so I had to poke a plastic knife into the top of the plug socket on the wall to open the bottom two plug sockets to plug the TV in. I almost snapped the aerial, putting that into its socket, and that would have been bad news. But now I've got the actual news on to see what's going on in the world. Like, finally, after nearly 2 weeks, I got woke up from my sleep to be told, "Got a telly for you, mate." And here I am with what the private prison has been billing me for since day one. 2 other prisoners have checked at my hatch to make sure that I've got one. At Exercise Less Social, I wanted the lads to play a few games of pool and went on the yard to bust out a few chin-ups. I went back into my pad to empty my pockets of rubbish. This is like packets of sugar and whitener, and got locked up on the wing. I was supposed to pray with Ahmed outside. This is in the exercise yard after the fascist protest yesterday. Instead, I prayed by myself and pad the basic beginner version. Somebody did pray outside. I heard as soon as they stopped praying that they stood up and kicked off at somebody because somebody else was trying to speak to them when they were praying. Ahmed wanted to pray on the landing with me, but after what they taught me yesterday about patience and this and that, I suggested that we only have 2 days left here. There's no point in causing drama. If we told the person who complained yesterday to fuck off yesterday, I said that we could pray, but because because they got told that we won't pray on the wing anymore, like it's clear it's certain antagonism if we do pray on the wing. Many people on the wing are with us and think that the fascist is being ridiculous, a bully. Of course they are. I got my blue plastic plate and bowl to queue up with the others for tea, but after an incident with a prisoner who was in a wheelchair, an ambulance was needed to be called, so we all had to go back into our cells before we could eat. I'm here now, luckily with Star Trek, The Next Generation on TV, a crystalline entity episode. Star Trek, The Next Generation is among the greatest TV series of all time, undisputably. Captain Picard is the GOAT. But the wing now is banging on their doors, dissatisfied with the wait for their food while somebody needs medical attention. They're throwing tantrums as if it's going to hurry anything up, as if it's going to hurry the ambulance medics up. We want dinner. We want dinner. I've known since I got here that I'm not one of them, but this crystallizes their entity as contrary to my own in the most visceral example yet. It was honestly a tragic sight. The poor lad in the wheelchair needed medical attention and he just made it about themselves. Couldn't wait 10, 15 minutes. Tea is white rice, diced turnip, and a chicken, pasty, 2 bread, and a spiced date and honey cake. In my pad for the night, the news shows protests against the president who wants peace with their own people in the DPRK, rather than risk constant war, as well as the news also provided arguments against rail nationalisation in Britain. I mean, I have actually sat on the floor with numerous people being unable to move because trains are that absolutely rammed and that ridiculous. The alternative is cutting costs with extortionate prices on British rails. It's not even debatable.
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner. What was a short list for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon at patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month or humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line as senders and inbox. If you can't support me, family, in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters, drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love and solidarity.